everybody, Howard Rushfirth of Rushfirth Creative here. At the last EBA session, Craig was promoting the idea that we should all be doing Facebook Live videos on a frequent basis, and this is my first one. So he actually singled me out as one of the ones and asked why I wasn't doing one. So he threw the gauntlet down, and I asked, "Since when, Craig, have you been wearing gauntlets?" It's just something I must be trying out. So anyway, this is my first one, and what I'd like to do on this is take the opportunity to ask other people within the EBA, is there anything you would like to know about branding, design, anything how I might be able to help or advise or support what you're doing and what you might want to go ahead and do. So if you can put anything in the comments below, that would be absolutely fantastic. Thank you, bye bye.
Good morning. Here I am back from my holidays, complete with hundreds of mosquito bites. So I'm back in the saddle, and I'm here to do a very quick Facebook Live regarding brand consistency versus variation. On my last podcast, Facebook Live, I spoke all about the importance of having a consistent brand identity and making sure that your consistency ran all the way through everything that you did, which is absolutely vital if you want to have a consistent message and for people to identify and engage with your brand and differentiate your business from all the other businesses. So one of the main ways that could be important, and where it's the consistency is absolutely vital, is in primarily stuff like business stationery, like business cards. So if you've got a team of people, all their cards should be absolutely exactly the same format, the same style. Everything should be just perfectly consistent throughout. Your letterheads, all that kind of stuff. Signage, consistency. But sometimes that can go against you, and this is the example I need to give. Is within your brand guidelines, you need to have some form of capacity for flexibility, so that your rules in your guidelines say that certain things should be consistent, certain things should be the same. You need some kind of allowance for variety, and I'll tell you why that's important. If you're putting out varied messages, like for instance, if you've got a campaign running on social media or in advertising, in a magazine campaign or different things, and you're selling or promoting certain different things, if you are so consistent with everything and everything that you put out looks identical, even if it's got different messages within it, people will become bored of it because it's the same thing every time, and B, people will subconsciously stop reading it. They will think, oh, that's the same thing I've seen, and it's the same thing, and they will just skim past it, or if it's on social media, they'll just scroll past it on the feed and think, oh yeah, that's that same thing I saw yesterday. Even if it's got a different message on it, you've got to have some sort of variation, whether it's colours, pictures, something in there. Even though the same things are consistent, like a particular formatting of what you've done needs to be consistent, and the logo and the positioning of things, you need to maybe have some sort of elements within that that refresh what you're doing every time that you do it. If you put in some kind of marketing material out, and that doesn't necessarily just mean social media ads. It could mean brochures. If you've got a brochure and you're following the guidelines, and you've got a whole range of products one year, you've got to kind of still sit within your guidelines the next year and still have a refreshed look about it, have a new cover somehow. And so within guidelines, always remember, if you're actually putting something out there, you need to have variety. If everything looks too samey, one, people get bored, and two, people will just assume that it's the same thing they've seen before. So you have to keep on top of your game and keep some sort of area within that promotion or advert or brochure, something that is different every time you do it. So remember, building an allowance for variety within the framework of consistency, if you understand what I mean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give some examples of how we did it for By Yorkshire. We created a really nice crisp logo that was really neat and white, but we showed that and adapted that on every single cover, so there was consistency every year on the brochure covers and on the marketing that we used on press ads and internet online ads. But every year it was consistent, but yet it had a refreshed look, and we managed to illustrate something different with it, so that people thought, oh, it's not just the same thing as last year, and it revitalizes it without rebranding. I'm not on about rebranding, I'm on about just being able to adapt what you've done to make it refreshed and look different. So I'll give some examples, and I hope you've enjoyed that, and just look out if you want to see me have another episode on Facebook. Just have a look next time.
Hello everybody on LinkedIn. Currently having a break from a networking session for the Leeds Elite Business Academy. It's been a good morning so far. It's a combination of coaching, training and a lot of networking. Just putting a post up to ask what different networking organisations you might be interested in, or networking that you do yourselves. I'd be interested if you could post your comments down on this post. You know, if you've got any suggestions or advice, or I mean, I do a lot on LinkedIn, also do a lot on Facebook and other social media, but I think sometimes nothing beats actually getting out there and meeting people, and I do a lot of that with the EBA at the moment, and finding it really useful. But if you've got other organisations or other things that you do, I'd love to hear about it. Thank you.